Hello there, this is Akiko Sedano. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Downingtown, Pennsylvania, and today I'm going to show you, and I'm going to make a Easter card using the Stampin' Up! Welcome Easter stamp set. Let me find myself here. Oops, let me make sure my volume is off. Good. All right. Hopefully you can hear me okay. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started. This is the Stampin' Up! Welcome Easter stamp set. And it's got the cute little, the little chickie and the lamb and the little bunny, and lots of pretty greetings for Easter, 2 of them for Easter, and then one also, I think this would make real sweet baby cards, and so I think it's really cute. Hi Kay, thank you, welcome. And then it's also got the sweet friend greeting. So I think that for little cute little critters, I think it's a really nice set, and they're a good size. So this is the card that we're going to make today, and I've got most of the pieces cut up, but we're going to focus on stamping and coloring the little chickie. And then on the inside, we've got some little flowers and some bees and other things that we've also stamped and colored. And the one thing that I'm going to change up from the sample card for today's card making is that instead of using on the sample card that I made, I used smoky slate ink, and so today I want to try using basic gray. I felt like the tuxedo black ink was just a little bit too harsh for these. Hi Karen, thank you for joining me. I felt like the black was just a little too harsh for these little baby animals, so I wanted to try going with something softer. And I felt like maybe the smoky slate was just a little bit too light, so we're gonna try going with the basic gray with today, and then we can compare the results afterwards. So I'm gonna start with the basic gray ink. And this is my inside panel. And first thing I'm going to do is stamp the chickie. I've mounted him here on my plate, and we're going to stamp him up, ink it up, and stamp it right in the center here. And then we'll color it with the Stampin' Blend. Actually, what I want to do, I don't remember if I showed you the inside. There we go. I think that's a little bit darker. We'll see what that looks like once it gets colored up. Hi Chi, thanks for joining. Now let's see, on the inside, I wanted to go ahead and get all my stamping done. So on the inside, there's a set of little flowers right here, and then the little bee. So I'm going to stamp the little bee up in the corner. I thought he was cute. I thought it would be cute to put the bee over on the side here, but I don't think it's going to fit properly with the when we cut him out. So I'm going to hold off on that. So I want to stamp, I'll put this aside, let that dry, and I want to stamp it. I'm going to measure this so that I recently have been putting things a little bit too low. So I'm going to just lay this on here so that I can measure where I think I want it oriented this way. I want to stamp the flowers in the corner. And that way I get that. I have room for my border down here. So I'll just carefully put that away and clean my stamp, and then one more, stamp the little butterfly. Actually, no, it's a bee up in the top corner here. There we go. That's cute. Yeah. So now I think we can put our ink away, and we're all done with our stamping. There we go. And then we can go ahead and start coloring. So on the inside here, I have just a little yellow stripe on the bee, and I'm using the dark Daffodil Delight Stampin Blend for doing that. And then I also stamp the insides of the flowers. And I don't remember, I can't tell if that's the light or the dark, but I'm going to go ahead and use the dark for the insides of the flowers. That's the dark Daffodil Delight. And then one of the flowers I did with the light Flirty Flamingo. So that's this little guy on the bottom in light Flirty Flamingo. And I just kind of tap it, and I'm not really, these are such small areas that it's not really blending. I'm just getting a good color, and if I don't get everything, that's fine too. And then I have the light Highland Heather, and I'll put that, I think I got this stamp upside down from the original, but that's okay, because just so you have a little bit of interest on the inside of the card. That's the light Highland Heather, and then the light balmy blue for the other flower. Oops, I like using the brush ends of the, just tap it lightly around so that, there we go. Okay, so that will be the inside panel, and then let's start to color our chick. Now, the first thing that I did when I colored the chick was I used the light pumpkin pie Stampin' Blend to color his feet and his nose and the little tufty thing on the top here. So let's do that with this is light pumpkin pie. And his beak. And then his feet. And I'm thinking that I'm liking the contrast with the basic gray instead of the smoky slate. But I always should wait until the end, because things never look the same in the when you're in the middle of the project. So put these guys aside. Actually, I'm going to put more, give myself a little bit more room here. And first I'm going to take the light Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to start with the bottom of his body, and I'm going to just kind of lay down some color all around. And here I will plan to do some blending. But the center section we'll do with the light, and I'm not even going to cover that back up. And then use the dark Daffodil Delight. And what I'm going to do is go around the bottom, because that will kind of give the illusion of I guess darker color in the shadow. Give the illusion of shadow and make him look more dimensional. So just lay down a little bit of color there. No, I'm going to leave him open, and then in kind of make little circles. I'm not really an expert at coloring with blends, with alcohol markers, but there's a few different techniques that you can use that without even being, and you can get pretty good results without having to take any expensive classes or anything like that. So just where I think there's going to be some shadow, I'll put the darker color and then just make little circles to blend in the darker color with the lighter shade. And then, you know, under his arm, and then on his tail, I think they'll be in the background. So we'll do some more color back in there. There. Then, let's see. Add some more color to his wings. There. I think that's, I think I should add a little bit more color to his wings, so I'll add a little bit darkness, a little of the dark to the edge, just to give it a little bit more definition. And then this little guy right here too. And then just brush it out there. So I think that's going to be done. And then I always do that. Stay with the light and just add more color to this wing. And then just try to get a thin outline on the ends here. Thank you, Karen. It's really easy with the Stampin' Blends because you don't have as much trouble with the lines as you do with the regular markers. So I've really enjoyed using I think the quality of the Stampin' Up Stampin' Blends has been pretty good. I've been pretty happy with that. Some of the other alcohol markers aren't as good. So get most of his there. Then I can get the outside as I because this face is like a ball, so it's going to have shadow, so we want to do this. So it was funny because as I was coloring his face especially, I was reminded of a makeup line where they encourage you to highlight and contour with like a bronzer, and it's and that's what it reminds me of. That's what I'm doing. I'm highlighting and contouring his face. So if you kind of put like darker bronzer on the edges of your face, then it makes your face look skinnier and it hides your double chin. That's what it says. I still have my double chin. And then, yeah, there. I think that's good. Yeah, and then it always looks a little darker until after it fully dries. So I think we'll just leave it. We'll leave him like that, and we'll see how it goes. But I do think I'm liking the basic gray instead of the smoky slate ink, because I think there's just a little more oomph to the bird. Actually, you know what I think? I think I want to add. So that's not blending very well, so I'm going to just go around here a little bit more. Then, yeah, that'll be good. Yeah. Now some of that's going away. Okay. All right. So now I've got him set, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut him out, and this is the one of the circle dies. The stitch circle die, and this is the largest, I think, no, this is the second largest of the stitch circle die. So I'm going to take him over to my die cutting machine and cut it out. And there he's done. And I always add a little bit of post-it tape to keep things where I want them to be. Then pop it out of the die. And there, that little chickie is done. Put things this away a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to take and I've already gotten a scallop circle from the I think this is the third largest scallop circle from the layering circles dies, and I'm gonna add some multi-purpose liquid glue to the back, and then put it on and kind of make sure he's kind of centered. Press it down. Good. Then we'll start to assemble the front. Now what I did ahead was I took the Happy Easter greeting, this Happy Easter greeting, and I stamped it on a panel of Whisper White, and I used Pear Pizzazz ink, and I went ahead and I cut it out with the die from the rectangle, the stitched rectangles dies. That worked out pretty good. And then I'm using a Pear Pizzazz gingham paper from the Subtles 6x6 pack of Designer Series paper. And so I'm going to add that. And then I also, on the Whisper White panel, what I did was, I don't know if you can see it very well, but I used the new the ornate flowers die, and this was the one that's part of the new catalog pre-release, and this is going to be available right now. This is only available to Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, but this is going to be available to everybody starting on Wednesday, April 1st. So this is such a pretty embossing folder. It's got such detailed and small little flowers and little branches with leaves. It's really very very intricate, very delicate, and really sweet. So I felt it went well with the little critters, the little chickie. And put some glue on the back here, and then I'm going to put this, I think, on maybe about 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. Just lay that across and see if it's even. You have to stand up and look at this, and there we go. And then press it good. And then I just took this and adhered it to the back of the card base. And the card base is a Pear Pizzazz card base. There we go. And then for the greeting, I want it over here, but I want to kind of measure this with it, measure the bunny, because I want to make sure that I can. I want to make sure that I can see the whole greeting here before I put it down. So just adhere that to the back. Kind of get it, I guess, centered up and down. That's good. And straight. I guess with the gingham, it's easy to line it up straight. And then we'll pop the chickie on with dimensionals. Here's my dimensionals. Just put them all around. Stick one in the center. Pull the covers off. I want to make some baby cards with this set too, with the gingham, using I think Blushing Bride and Balmy Blue. I think that would be so cute, but I haven't figured out quite. Oops, does that look? Did I make that crooked? Everything seems to be crooked to me these days. I don't know. My astigmatism is just so bad. So put him down. But I think that it will be a cute baby card. Yeah, I did leave that crooked. Okay. There we go. So, and then we'll put the little bow on it, and maybe that'll disguise some of the crookedness. My goodness. And then I use a little glue dot to on the back of my bow in the center here. And this is the ruched Daffodil Delight ribbon. That is just so, that's so sweet. I love that ribbon. And I'll just put it, right down here, a little lower. So that'll help. I think that will help with the crookedness. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. Really tried hard to make sure that wasn't crooked. And then I did it. Ah. Hi, Debbie from North Carolina. Thanks for joining me. All right, so the final thing we're finished with the outside, and then we're going to I'm going to add a strip of glue to the bottom here. And then add the gingham paper to the bottom of the card and check and see if I've, okay, not crooked there. And press that down and then add glue and then put this on the inside. Yep, I have to figure out the layout for the baby cards, but that would be really cute. Because they look like little stuffed animals, and you can color them any color. And they're a good size for coloring with the Stampin Blends. Or if you want to use like a watercolor, I think they would be good with that too. Okay. Not get the inside upside down. Lay it down. Let's see if we're straight. Make some adjustments. Yay, I think I got that straight. Press it down good. There. So that's the inside of my card with just a little bit of a touch of spring here, and with a little bee And then that's the outside of the card. And I think I do like it. This one is done with basic gray, and this one is done with smoky slate. And I think I like the little bit of the darker contrast with the basic gray than with the smoky slate. But I felt like the that the tuxedo black was just going to be too dark. But so there's that's it. That's my Easter card. So thank you very, very much for joining. And everybody have a great week and be safe. Bye-bye.